Welcome everyone again to tonight's live. It's Chichi and Uche. Tonight we will be talking about the intersection of relationship and finance. We want to talk about the advantages of transparency, financial transparency in marriage. So we all understand the importance of finance in a relationship and how they both affect each other. For some people, they could have been millionaires if they had been in a good relationship. And for some, if they had made enough money, some relationship can just scatter the money. That's the kind of things that we see today. And we try to find ways that we can avert this kind of thing so that people can thrive both in their relationships and in their finances. We also know that finance is important to run a home, to run a family or a relationship, as the case may be. So, since it's important also that we pay attention to how we manage it, especially as couples. So, we are going to dive into the conversation. But before we do, we would like to welcome everyone that is joining us tonight and those that will be watching the replay. We want to say a big thank you to you and a big welcome. It will be nice if we get to know your name and where you are joining from, and so we can connect with you on a personal note. All right, so let's go into the conversation. So, if people are being transparent in their relationship, what do you think are the advantages that they would derive from such practice? Because we know that there are some people that what the right hand is doing, the left hand doesn't know. And what the left hand is doing, the right hand doesn't know. They both manage their finances separately and nobody knows. In fact, for some people, they don't even know how much each of them are earning. They are earning incomes, but everybody is managing their own. And maybe for those that are even doing a bit better, they might have contributions to the common purse where they pay their bills from, but what is left, their spouse are not aware of it. And we have found through our experience in coaching and counseling and from the clients that sit before us that it does cause a lot of harm than good. And today we'll be making a recommendation at the end of this live. But before then, we would like to discuss the advantages of being transparent with our finances when in a relationship. So,
Okay. Once you bring the Bible in every conversation, what do you mean by what the left hand does and the right hand doesn't know, and what the right hand does and left hand don't know? So are we talking about using biblical standard, or is it because you are the son of a priest that you must talk about Bible and everything?
I think that if when it comes to relationship and of course everything in life, the principles are from the word of God. Even the ones that the secular world is practicing, they derive from the word of God. But if you step away from it, then you will keep hitting the rocks because that's where the foundation and the strategies and the principles are. So I believe that everything goes back to the word of God or the Bible, as
Okay.
you may say.
Okay. Let's stick to the Bible. Stick to the Bible. Stick to the Bible. Stick to the Bible, the best book of all. All right. So what you're asking is, what is my understanding about it? I think why I love that aspect is because it fosters trust. It helps to build trust. This when you have a honest communication with people, your partner, honest communication about finance, honest communication about earnings, outgoings, incomes. It relieves a lot of tension from people. That way, it helps them to build trust because, like we all know, whenever trust gets tainted or gets lost in a relationship, it causes so much of a trouble. And as a result, whatsoever that will build trust and relieve tension, if it happens to be done correctly, will be something I would recommend and I will always tell that's the best thing to do. In this instance, when we talk about money, you and I know what money is. Money, it is, like the Bible says, is the root of all evil. Yes, we all are looking for money in various areas, in various forms. So if we have this honest communication about money, tensions will be relieved. And when tensions are relieved, trust definitely is enhanced.
Okay, so thank you. And we know and understand that it builds bond between couples when they talk about their finances, because that's having communication. So couples that do communicate have time for themselves, leave other things to talk about a particular thing that concerns them, that is of mutual interest. They tend to build bond, and it fosters trust, like he said. Yeah, because they trust themselves, they know where everything is, they know where things are going. There is no need for snooping around and imagining things in your head. So it's kind of good. The marriage comes with a lot of challenges, so is enough, and coming to add some imaginations and thoughts that are really not profitable to it, because you are wondering in your mind, how did this go? What about this? How much is this? Did he spend this amount? Is it really this? It's not necessary. So all it does is it helps to, bring peace to that home and bring trust, and then fosters a bond between two of them, because they are financially on the same page, if you want to put it like that. So that is the basics. But we are going to go into one of the advantages, strong advantages, that financial transparency does, or one of the advantages it gives to couples when they are transparent with their money. So it stops people from infidelity. So a lot of people, being transparent with finances will mean that they are not, committing infidelity, because it costs money to do, hide and seek. It costs money to go to hotels. It costs money to give whoever you are in a relationship with those presents and those gifts, those errands. It costs money to maintain that, you know, relationship outside your marriage. And if when people are being transparent with their money, then it's kind of hard for them to, maintain those outside relationships, whether it's a man or a woman. Because if it's the woman also that is reaching out to date a man outside her home, she probably will be the one that is spending money. And if it is a man, mostly they spend a lot because it costs money to woo a woman. And this they can avert. It may not be that they truly within them don't want to commit infidelity. It may not be, but at least it will stop them from engaging in that activity, which also saves a lot in their home and keep their family. So either way, it is maintaining their family, keeping it all together. And sometimes over time, people form a habit out of their practice. So even if they had the intention, if for years they are not able to do it, they might as well forget about it and live the life that they have built with their spouses. So that's one of the advantages of, being financially transparent for many homes, for many couples. It is one of the things that they can save on, or save themselves trouble on, when they are open with their finances, at least from our experiences.
I think it's a valid point, but slightly, sometimes I actually think it may not cost some people so much money, or may not cost them money at all to be infidel in their relationship. Because, say, for example, you just said it here, that the woman, if it's the woman reaching out, she may be the one spending the money, but if the man will spend more to buy those gifts and stuff like that. I actually think to some, they may not have to even spend any money, and they will still be have sexual partners outside their homes. These things are things that people do because they have a passion for things that is not godly, and for things that's against the ethics of their home. In the real sense of it, it simply means that the person has a problem, to be honest, and having that problem is what we believe they actually need help to a degree that they could come out of the problem they are into. But in terms of the money, I understand that they may have to spend money, but I still think, because it's out there. I still see it when you scroll on the internet, you see people even advertising stuff like that, you can come over to theirs, you can do this, they want to have a drink with you, or paid for, stuff like that. So some of those men who, let's say, if they believe that, oh, do you know what? I haven't got money to pay for this. So they may go to site where it will be that all will be paid for, and they'll still be unfaithful to their various partners.
Okay, I understand, but we all know that even if someone is not paying to maintain that relationship outside their marriage, someone is definitely sponsoring it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it has to be sponsored by finances. There is nothing that really happens without money.
Yeah.
So if a man is cheating with a woman and he's not, engaging finances in it, it means the woman is paying for it. And for many people, someone is paying so that she can pay. Yes, because it's true, especially in the environment that we are in. It's not many people that are that buoyant financially to, finish paying their bills and their family affairs, and have a lot to now sponsor an illicit relationship for a very long time. It may happen for a while, but over time, lack of finances will start affecting that relationship too. It will start affecting it to the point that they may break up.
Yeah.
Because they need money to finance. In fact, I think that the illicit relationship, what do they call it? So relationship outside marriage is usually more expensive to maintain, more than the one inside, because so the husband or the wife, they may just manage things, they may just, they are not proving a point. But a lot of times when people are in a relationship outside their marriages, they are impressing the woman or the man. The woman will be trying to impress the man will be trying to impress the woman. So they will need finances. So if it is a man that is pursuing a woman and not involving money, so maybe she pays for food, pays for they go to the restaurant, she pays, go to the hotel, for those that use the hotel, she pays their transportation and other things they might want to engage in, she pays. It means that a lot of the times someone else is sponsoring her indirectly without knowing what she uses the money for, and she is then spending the money
That's
on the
correct,
man.
yeah.
And if it is the other way around, it means that the wife of the man is probably working so hard and doing extra shifts or running her business, making money, and the man is busy spending it, which is what is most common. That women just stay at home, build with that man, toil, and think that they are building a family together, and that gives the man more money in his disposal to now use for his own personal interest, which could be a woman. Because when they start forming objects of fantasy and of interest, then somebody is actually sponsoring or making sure that that is happening without knowing it. Let's take, for instance, if in economy like ours, or in society like this, where there are huge things outgoings in a month, how much will the man be making if there is no contribution from the woman for him to be able to now sponsor another home outside? Because that's mainly what happens in this part of the world. That it's not like having a side chick or something. It's like you are maintaining another home. Most men, they maintain another home. So if their wives are not bringing in income, can they comfortably afford their household bills and have some to now run errands, buy this, do this for another person? So when you look at it, it will mean that somebody behind the scene is sponsoring that affair without realizing it. And sometimes, let's not forget that somebody may be sponsoring it compulsorily. Somebody may be under compulsion, like they know that it is going on, but they have no choice, or so they will say, because
Why?
everyone has a
Why
choice.
can't they?
Yeah. So, but they will believe, or it's been sold to them over time, that they have no choice, that they can't do anything about it. Or they may be in communities where everyone, tones it down and think it's not going to kill you, just stay there or not stay there. We know communities and cultures that if it is a man having the affair, then it seems that like it's not a crime, and the woman have to endure it. And sometimes when it is a woman, maybe she's earning more or she has more bargaining power, it would be like the man has no say in the matter. They just have to endure it and manage the relationship. So either way, these things are happening. It may sound like, oh, where are you getting that from? But we do meet with people regularly, and we do sit with people that have these problems, and we know that it is a real issue that's happening among us. It may be your neighbor, it may be your friend, you just don't know because they are not telling you all. But this is eating deep into people's relationships, just as not having enough is also eating deep into their people's relationships. So just watch out. And if by today you are not managing your money together with your spouse, maybe it is something you have to incorporate into your activities from today, because either way, it saves 9.
A stitch in time indeed saves 9. That's an old proverb we used to say when we were in secondary school back in the days. Right. Something else that I would like us to talk about is the issue of how it helps being financially transparent, how it helps with in relationship. We'll talk about something that has to do with understanding. When people are financially transparent, it helps to build up that understanding of life. It helps to reduce conflict. It helps to stop hidden financial transactions, because when a lot of transactions are being made bare, open, you will see that, do you know what? Everything about the transaction is clear. I understand what it is. That way, some misunderstanding that goes in families wouldn't happen, because very little things, some people get upset because of how money is being used. Either the woman or the man get upset. Does not matter who earns more or who earns less. As long as money meant for family is being used wrongly, chances are that it will bring misunderstanding. But if it is laid bare, open, it fosters the room for transparency, openness, and uh, financial stability, helping them to work together to achieve their financial goals and other goals. This is because not just they are there to support themselves financially, but they have other goals that they want to reach out to, that they want to accomplish together. So this working together will help them to reach other goals that they have in mind to reach. But when they are not working together, other goals, other aspirations, other things that they want to do will suffer a very heavy blow, because the person might be thinking, I don't know why I should even do that. What is his plan? What is his future? If I invest in that, would that, what happen if he decided one day that is out of this? What comes of me? What happen if he thinks, do you know what? I don't think it's gonna last for long. And that way they are a bit hesitant in getting involved fully. Actually, it stops relationship not to get involved fully. People will be in a relationship, but they are kind of sitting on the fence. They are edgy.
Having plan B.
Yeah, they are edgy. They're thinking, do you know what? I don't know if this is going to happen. Let's see what happens. That way, they are not in, they are not out, because the issue of money has not been properly ironed out. When money is properly dealt with, ironed out, each party knows what happens to the money, where it goes, and where it's being used. Then chances are that understanding and slow, smooth flow of relationship works. And this may even enhance the bedroom experience, I think.
So this is one of the reasons that people are not transparent with money, because they have a plan B. They are thinking, if we merge our money together, if it becomes our money, then what if something happens that we are no longer together? Yeah. So that's one of the reasons that people are not transparent with their money. But that's not exactly what we will be, talking about today, even though it relates. Maybe on another time, we will go deeper and talk about it in full. But let's think of another advantage that financial transparency can bring to a couple. So from what you were trying to say, yeah, because they will build together, they will pay attention to their financial goals, they will achieve more financially as a family. Their children will benefit more, for those that have children. So because if everybody knows where money is going into, especially that they have to talk about it before it is done, they have to agree, not just talking about it, because we find that some people just give information. They are not having a conversation. I'm just telling you that I'm doing this.
What is the difference? Tell me, I want to write so that I don't forget.
It's different if I am just informing you what I want to do, or what I have already done or I'm doing. It's different from having a conversation with you, whether you think, what do you think? Should we not? Is it okay if we buy a car? Do you think I can buy a car now? And where would the money come from? We have this project. Do you think that we can accommodate a new car or something? It's different from driving home and maybe on the way or in the car garage, I call to say, I've just bought a new car. I'm coming home with a new car. Or
what color of car will you prefer?
Yeah, something like that. So some people do that. But we are talking about a situation where couples talk about their finances have a common goal towards their finances, and then they work towards it. So those homes they usually retire well. Their children benefit a lot. There is a lot of peace in that home because it's not all about the money. People can be content in one bedroom, and people in 5 bedroom are not content. They are not happy. So it's about the two people and the children that follows, how they are able to manage their money that is at their disposal. So this is one of the advantages, that people will work together, build together, grow. When you talk about all this financial freedom, building wealth, that's the only time it will happen. Don't forget that a lot of people, which is what we cover on our platforms, that relationships, bad relationships doesn't let people create wealth, because it's either they are hiding money, they are not investing well, they are not using it for the right things, they cannot make the other person know what they are doing, they fall into wrong hands because they are trying to hide away money. So sometimes when people, because people are terrible, sometimes when people discover that their spouses are not aware of it, especially their friends and family, they eat the money. They just help them spend it. And then because they know that they cannot report to their husbands or their wives, they can't really do much. So they just misuse that fund that is kept in their custody. So these are the reason why it is important that people are transparent with their finances, because that way, those kind of people, those kind of evil men and women, unreasonable men and women is a better choice of word, they won't enter into their financial life to destroy it, because they know that what the other person knows, the other person is, what the wife knows, the husband is aware, and vice versa. So it keeps them stronger family, stronger couples, and they can achieve what a lot of people who earn more than them but are not financially transparent can achieve. And that's another advantage.
Question, please. I understand the explanation about giving information and having conversation. Are there times when you may decide to give information instead of having conversation?
Yes, a lot of times, but that goes back to the kind of relationship that the couple are running.
Regardless.
Something must make something to happen. Okay. So if the relationship is really, really going well, it will not happen. But let's not forget that somebody may have to make a decision in a just quickly. Yeah. Maybe somebody is somewhere and need to make a decision right there, right, at the moment. They will call. If the other person cannot process it and make a decision, the answer may be, come home. When we figure it out or sleep over it, we can proceed. If it is something to be lost, somebody may get upset or may not, depending on their relationship. Okay. It all depends on how they relate with each other.
So you've been looking to buy a BMW, the X35 BMW, the big one, right? You like big BMWs and big Mercedes, right? Not the Audi one. So this BMW, we've been to a dealer, and the dealer says it's £7,000, right? And we've been saving £7,000 to get this particular car from a dealer. So I went out in the community, maybe went for an event somewhere, and instanta, the same car, even a newer model, the owner is selling it for 4,000. And the owner of that car is somebody who just migrated to the UK, had the car after his studies, failed. Do you know what? I'm going to go back to wherever country is coming from. And he's going back the next day. He drove the car into that event. And at the event, he now said, he's going to sell this car at giveaway price, and he wants the money. Whoever wants to deal for it should contact him in the next couple of minutes. And we've been saving 7,500 for this car. Already we have about 4,300 in our purse. And he wants the car for 4,000. So we'll save about 3,500. And I thought, do you know what? It's a good car, and I've driven it, this fine car. Do you know what? I'm not going to have conversation. I'll give you information. What I will do is I transfer money to this person and drive this car home, and now give you information. Good car. In that instant, when I got home, will you be angry to say, why on earth did you buy that car? We have been saving 7,500 to save this car. You should have
buy 7,000.
To buy 7,000. You should have waited until buy 7,500. Why do you should have given me time to process it, give me information, and don't have the conversation. Do you know what? That car, I'm not going to drive that car. We're not driving that car because we did not have the conversation. Don't give me information.
That's not what I am saying.
Okay.
But remember that this conversation has already taken place. Mm-hmm. This is not a scenario. You didn't paint it well, because the conversation has taken place. The agreement has been reached. It is just preparation waiting to meet opportunity that both of us are waiting for. So it will be different from the people that maybe there is something else that money is waiting for, or maybe it was planned for a car, but something has come up. Maybe there is an investment that came up and they have agreed that they will use it for that investment and maybe buy the car next year. And suddenly somebody saw a car, and because the money is available that can cover it, he now forgets that there is something else we wanted to shift it to. And or let's say he forgot that it's not yet time to buy the car, and then buy it. So there are different scenarios. We had the conversation, we agreed. The money is not enough. That's why we have
you. What will you do? Will you be happy that I bought that car, bring it home?
I will be happy that we saved money and got the same deal. But
you've not answered the question. Will you be happy that I brought the car home at 4,000?
Yes, that's what I said. At the price, I will be happy, because that saves us money. We can save up now for something else.
And when I go home, you cook my favorite that day because I've made a bargain.
You can have your okra, but what I mean is that you could also call me to tell me that so person is selling his car, is a good deal. Do you think we should pick it or not? That's the best practice.
There's no signal where I can call.
Okay.
Or I tried to call, your number wasn't connecting. And there are other buyers who will pay even 5,000, and he happened to be the best person to me. If I start making call, another person may have transferred money to him. So
that won't be exactly correct. But if you don't have signal and cannot make a call, then that is a good excuse.
Okay.
But that you can hold the money and be giving it and also call. Yes, you've seen that you want to pay. And by the way, does anybody leave the house with 4,000? Or you make a transfer?
Transfer.
Yeah, while you are making it, you can just tell me rather than me seeing an alert.
But it's the same transfer. It's the same phone I will use to make the transfer. Why will I be calling you on the same phone? It will be better to make the transfer instead of calling you, because by the time I'll be wasting time to call you on the phone,
guys,
the money will go.
See, the best practice. Remember, I said that at the end of this, we are going to make recommendations. Look, what we are subscribing and what we want, what works is that you don't withhold the information from your spouse, that you be transparent with money and with every other thing. And while you are at it, make it the honest truth to the best of your knowledge and ability. Don't withhold any information. Tell the whole truth to the best of your knowledge and ability, at least so that your conscience will be free. It doesn't mean that all the time you will make the best decisions or you will make the best choices, but at least to the best of your knowledge, that's up to what you know at that point. That will help. If you now start making excuses, something has already started going wrong in your relationship. If your relationship is okay and healthy, there will always be a way to sort everything. So don't be in the category of people who will think, oh, this is a good bargain, I'm going ahead with it, without having a conversation with your spouse, whether you are a man or a woman. Both ways, it helps, because that way they will trust you. You don't want a situation where they are panicking every time you're going out, or every time you guys say keep some money, they are panicking. They want to hold it. They want it to be in their custody because they are not sure what you are going to do, what you get excited out there and do. Whether they wake up one morning and the money had been put into something else. Remember the couple that we were talking about 2 weeks ago and last week? That's exactly what happened. It wasn't that the man went and squandered the money. He was using it for the things that they both need in their home, for their children, but he was not communicating that. And the money was set aside for something. So don't put yourself in a situation where trust will become an issue in your relationship, because they will think, today is a car. He bought a car. Yeah, we want a car. What if tomorrow he now go to buy something that was not in the plan or in the goal? So that's what I want to say.
Well, I heard what you said, but I'm happy with what Taja just said to me. Taja, yeah, thank you. Today we decided to make a change in days, and that's why we decided to do it today, Saturday. Yeah, you are absolutely correct. It is still Saturday. And again, thank you, because your comment is brilliant. Even if you forgive me, if I bring your dream car, even without telling you, I'm forgiving. So I'm forgiving. I can go home and sin no more. So thank you for that understanding.
If it's a one-off, yes.
What is one-off? Why one-off or two-off or three-off or five-off?
Does it mean that you didn't hear where I'm coming from? Well, I'm saying that it can also harm the trust that you have, because if today is a car, what if tomorrow you go out and the money saved for the car, you find someone that another thing that we have in mind to buy, you find it and then buy it
at a better deal again?
It will not. There is a situation.
Well, there's a deal outside there.
Yeah, but there is a situation where it will not matter how much, even if you bought it for a penny, it won't matter, because the money has something else to cover. Where you will be thinking, sometimes it is even your spouse that you want to impress, but that's the danger in it. Engaging in that is not okay, because you may be wanting to impress someone, but what will impress them is something else. Women normally will want security. They will want to have security. So anything to tamper with that security, they are not impressed. And if they are, it may be a situation or a relationship where people are just, they are living separate lives, but living together. So they are handling their things by themselves and handling their monies. And so that looks like a gift, because they are not contributing to it and they are excited.
Right.
So let's not mix it. The best practice is to make sure that what you know, your spouse knows it, and that two of you are always on the same level when it comes to common interest.
I agree.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I wanted to chip in. I don't know how much time we have. Something else that is an advantage. So we talked about cheating. We talked about building the family financially, or creating wealth, being financially free, working towards it, and all that. But it's also important to point out that although I talked about people taking advantage of you when they believe or they are aware that your spouse doesn't know what to do with money or how much you have. They sometimes help you to spend that money that you're trying to tuck away. But a lot of the times, people that will come to you to ask for help is another problem, because some of them are not asking because they are really in need. And when you check out some of them,
Why are they asking?
they are even better than you. Yes, there are some people that will come to you. It has happened to me. People sometimes will want to eat off you. They will want to take advantage of you financially. But if you are transparent, or if you are managing your money together, which means that somebody will be aware before you do some things with finances. So if somebody asks me for money, that I am telling my spouse that, oh, so person is in need, and I will want to give them 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 100 pounds, then you really don't know what he knows about that person. It may be that he has had or is aware that the person takes advantage of people financially. And at that point that I discuss it, it will come out. What if I didn't discuss it? It also will mean that maybe he will say, okay, don't give him 100, just give him or her 50. Because remember that we have this project, we have this to do, we have this one set aside. If you take a chunk out of it to help them, no matter their needs, then it means that our own will not be met.
Yes.
So something like that, rather than thinking that, oh, we are okay, let me help this person. So a lot of people take advantage of people who are hiding money from their spouses. That's why many of them, they are never wealthy. They are never rich.
Who is never wealthy? The one hiding it,
Those
the money,
that
or
hide,
the one collecting?
those that hide their money from their spouses. People who manage their money privately and don't want their spouse to know what they are doing. Even some people have finished building a house, buying a property outside their spouse, and eventually lose it because people are watching. They know these things. So they are taking notice of how you relate, and they will, most of the time, take advantage of that situation. And don't let them. Just make sure that you and your spouse are on the same page. I want to also chip in that it doesn't mean that you can't have your own purse. Yeah, because a lot of women will come after me now and say, but you are saying we should have our own. Yes, you can. You can have your own. Having your own doesn't mean that you secretly do everything with your money. It just means that you have one that you have total control over. But you still have to discuss what you do so that your spouse is aware, whether a man or a woman, just so it doesn't confuse our viewers. So shall we look at what is on the chat? Or do you have something to say?
Nothing else to say. Taja has forgiven me, so I don't need to say much again.
Okay, I can see this.
I've seen this is why she said it's easier for you to do it.
Okay.
This is why you move in silence. So she's talking about if a man bring a car home I want, he's forgiving. I mean, who can say no to a dream car for a lower price? Yeah, and this is why you move in silence. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
all right. So,
thank you so much, Taja, as always. I didn't know that you will join by this time. We wanted to make some changes, and that brings us to tonight's announcement. So, due to some family, excuse me. So, due to some family situations and changes, we are finding it a bit challenging to continue with the Sunday night live, and we are thinking of shifting it to Thursday evening. And it may be that we'll be having this live on Thursdays from next week instead of on a Sunday. So we wanted to just do tonight in case we are not able to do tomorrow, and also to inform our viewers on time that we may be stopping the Sunday broadcast until further notice. So it will be Thursdays, and we'll try to show up, but on a different day, which is likely to be on a Thursday. I hope that you guys will change your diaries, make 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 notes of the day and time, and then please join us. We're also thinking it might be earlier than 8 o'clock, but we are not certain yet. We will announce that before next Thursday, whether it will still be at 8 or after or before 8 o'clock. So thank you everyone that always join us and contribute and support what we do. Thank you, thank you, thank you again. Thank you, Tasha. God will bless you. And I don't know if there's anything else that we would like to share. We didn't plan it to be up to an hour today.
You're getting almost 45 minutes. Yeah, so I have nothing to share.
Closing remarks.
Closing remarks. Closing remarks, I would say, is if it's too hard for you to share regarding how you deal with your finance, it means that something you're trying to hide. But if it's open and easy for you to share, it means you are very, very transparent. And transparency in most cases is the key. And in relationship, you and I know that wherever there is room for transparency, things flow like butterflies on the water. And we wish that the relationship and everything around you flows swiftly.
Thank you. Thank you. So as we end tonight's life, what I would like us to go away with is this understanding that the pasture is not greener out there than it is where you are. And if you truly want an amazing relationship, just follow the laid down guidelines. Stepping away from it, it won't work. If it does by chance, it's for a short time. Don't do the things that will make your spouse not to trust you, not to believe in you, not to believe that they are covered, that you cover their back, that they are secured with you. If you make them insecure by your activities, by hiding this and hiding that, then you have already destroyed your own relationship. It's like building and scattering with your own hands, and that's not what we want to do. So don't think that you can get away with things for a long time, because people don't usually do. And if you keep suppressing someone, a time will come when they will wake up and say enough is enough. And people are not that patient anymore today. So be very mindful. And what can be more than enjoying your relationship, fulfilling your purpose, and being the best that you can be? That's what we should be seeking for. And the best way to do that is to be transparent with everything, especially your finances, and manage together. Manage it together. Don't leave it in the hands of one. Make sure you are involved in managing your family finances. And on that note, we would like to say a big thank you again to everyone that joined, and for those that will be watching the replay, thanks again, and have a very good night and a good day from wherever, depending on where you are watching from. And we'll see you on Thursday on another conversation. Until then, bye-bye. Bye, Tasha.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Have a nice night, Tasha. Bye.